This conference will now be recorded.
Let me save this file. Okay, so whatever from today I'm explaining, particularly for finance team, every day you need to practice. Every day you need to practice. Okay, fine. Now, whenever if you purchase a license from Microsoft, means for client, this is the client. For this client, you are working in software company. This is called Microsoft Partners or software companies. These companies, they will approach Microsoft and they will purchase the license on behalf of this client. Microsoft will not sell the license to this company directly. They will not sell directly to this organization. What they will do, they will sell through partners. So that is the reason this is called Microsoft Partners. Microsoft will always sell the license to this company through partner only. Okay, so suppose you are working in Accenture, what you will do, you will approach Microsoft to get a license for this client. Understood? So once you got license from Microsoft on behalf of some client, you will get one company called default data DAT. Sorry, DAT. That company will be available by default. DAT company will be available by default. Inside the code will be there. So if you purchase a license from Microsoft, then by default that company will be exist. That company will be exist. That is by default. Along with that one, anything else exists? One more, country master. Country master will be exist. Countries is not only one, it is countries master will be exist. Countries will be exist. Next, currencies will be exist. So blank database you have taken from Microsoft, then countries will be exist and currencies will be exist by default in the system. You need not to create countries and currencies. So where it is available, this country. Okay. And what is the step? First step is address setup. You need to configure address setup. So in this DAT company, you need to go to organization administration. You need to go to organization administration, legal and organizations. Sorry, not this one. Global address book, address SS, address setup. So organization administration, global address book, addresses, addresses, address setup. Okay, Okay, this you need to come. In this address setup, if you go here, country oblique region, it is by default available. So this is country oblique region will be available by default. No need to create. So suppose, what is the country name of Dubai? Dubai country name?
UAE, United Arab Emirates.
United Arab Emirates, UAE. But that country name is not UAE, it is ARE as per the international standards. As per the international standards, if you want to export a material from here, from Hyderabad to Dubai, you need to write country code as ARE. It is United Arab Emirates is the name is correct, but as per the international standards, it is ARE. You cannot change this country code. As per the international standards, it is Arab Emirates, ARE. Okay, if it is UK, it is, look at this one. United Kingdom, it is not UK, it is GBR, Great Britain. Okay, so the whatever the default countries given by provided by Microsoft, you should not create new one. Why? If you create, what happens? So Microsoft releases localizations. Country region specific help. Australia has localization, Austria has localization, India has localization, Russia has localization. Like this, there are several localizations exist. Okay, this all localizations will be provided by Microsoft on this name. Whenever the code is writing by backend, like the developer is writing code for this localizations features, they will take country code as this one. Suppose India, it is IND. It is already there. The entire code is developed based on the country master IND. Country master IND. Okay, so because of this one, if you create new country, then the localization feature will be not enabled, or it will not be like we cannot get that localizations if you create new country. So always the best practice is whatever it is provided by Microsoft, this is international standards. So we need to use the same code forever. Understood? Any questions here? Country, it is there. Next, you need to create states. States will not be provided by Microsoft. It is your responsibility. You need to create. And then county is applicable for USA, not for India. City is applicable for India, every country. And then district is applicable for India. So you can select India and you can create your own country master, like districts. And then state is not required. It is not required. Next one is, look at this one here, street group of houses, land plots, and group of plots. All these four are belongs to Russia. It is Russia only. You cannot create your own. New button will not be enabled for remaining countries. It is for only Russia. These four. Understood? So only for Russia it will be created. Next, postal zip codes is for every country. Now, once it is defined, you are defining address format. So for India, it is in the top, you will write your name, street, and then city, and then district, and then state, and then country, whatever it is there, zip code. So the format, you can define your own formats, and you can attach that format to the country. So for Aruba, it was mapped 001. For Afghanistan, it was mapped some other 006. For India, it was mapped something. So you can modify as per your comfort. Okay. So in this address setup, except country, remaining all those things you need to define. This is the first setup you need to do it. This is the first setup you need to define. Once it is defined, then next step is organization administration, organizations, legal entities. So here it will be blank, only DAT company will be there. So don't touch that one. Okay. Okay, that is keep it as it is. Don't do anything on this company. Okay, now you need to create a new company. You need to create, just a minute. You need to create new company. Now tell me your favorite company, any company. If you are in future, if you are planning to establish a new company, what is your favorite company? Any company name. No one is interested to establish a company.
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Huh? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tell me any other company. Microsoft is okay. You want Microsoft, so fine. Microsoft USA Private USA Limited. Okay, Microsoft MS USA Limited. So MSUL and USA. Okay, here remember the code, 4-digit code. The company code cannot be modified. Once it is created, cannot be deleted, cannot be modified. So suppose it is 2 companies, 3 companies, 10 companies, it is fine, no problem. If you have 100 companies, if you have 500 companies, then it will take, you need to understand, you need to decide properly, like the country codes, how you want to represent. This is alphanumeric. This is alphanumeric. Once it is created, you cannot delete it. Once it is created, you cannot delete it. It will be available forever. So you need to stop by writing here, stop the company, like this, something. But you cannot modify, you cannot delete. So this company code is 4-digit alphanumeric. So you need to decide how you want. Okay, then this one also, country or region where it is located. By mistakenly, I have created India, but I want to change it to USA. That is not possible. Once the transaction is posted, you cannot modify. Once a transaction is created, you cannot modify. You need to make sure you did it everything properly. This company name and country code. Okay, you need to click on OK. So the next step is legal entity. Legal entity. So organization administration. Organization legal entities. Okay, once it is created, you need to map address setup properly. So postal zip codes. Because I went to USA, Bellevue only. So this state only, I went to this city, Bellevue. Okay, so there it will be like there will not be any street names. It will be like this. Class. Okay, they will give numbering only. So you need to fill the address. You need to fill the address. Next, you need to fill the language. You need to fill the language. ENUS. I'm mapping ENUS. So while practicing, don't select if you want really, suppose Arabic, it is available. Arabic UAE is there, Arabic Bahrain is there, different languages are. But suppose you know Arabic already. You are staying in Dubai, you know Arabic, and you want to select Arabic. Don't select. Because in the demo system, I don't know how extended is application is working fine. Because this is a trial version or demo system. 100% everything is exist or not, I don't know. So always better to map ENUS. If you take license from Microsoft, then if you are asking for Arabic language, Microsoft will provide you. For that, it may be some extra charges for language support. There may be extra charges that I don't know. I'm not sure. That you need to check with Microsoft during purchase of this license. Whenever you are purchasing this license, you need to make sure the language, for that language, you have paid some amount or not. Okay, that is, you need to check whether it is extra amount or with the same Microsoft is providing or something. You need to check. So here in this, you need to map like address and language should be updated. Address and language should be updated. Okay, so the country, it is USA and language. So now it is better to refresh once. If it is AX2012 previous version, I will close the application and I will open, because in the back end there are so many tables are getting created. There are so many tables like master default data will be updated. So it is better to refresh once the legal entity is created. Then next step, once it is created, you can go to any module. You can go to any module, setup, parameters, Okay, just give me a minute. So here parameters, number sequence. You need to right click here, view details. Okay, click on generate. You need to click on generate. So I'm clicking on generate button. Any module, any parameters, number sequences. It is blank. Now it is filling. Now it is filling. Okay, it will take 1 or 2 minutes time. So in the parameters, one of the tab is number sequences. All number sequences are blank. All number sequences are blank. Now the number sequences will be filled with this one, with this generate button. Will not take this much time. Why it is taking this much?
Satya, it will take the numbers, continuous numbers, it will take like, the format we should give, right?
The format it will take automatically by Microsoft. I will tell you the format how it is creating. Okay, I'll show you. It is it is creating one format automatically.
We can change it, right? Format or if you want.
So it will take the format from MSVL dash hyphen 6 hashes or something, 8 hashes or 6 hashes. Understood?
So if you want, we can change it. Or it
If
should
you
be
want, you
simple.
can change. Yes, exactly. Exactly right.
In the real environment, we'll follow the standard format or we'll create our own format for any number sequencer.
So first we'll create from the number sequence like this. Whatever. So that's what I'm showing you now. Okay. Next, look at this one. Next. So here it is more than 400 number sequences. It is more than 400 to 500 number sequences. Click on next. Each module wise, it is 30. It is wrong actually. It was rectified in the latest versions. Around 30 here. And look at this one. It is there are so many number sequences. If you want to create manually these many, it will take for you 2 days, 3 days. It will take 2-3 days time. So rather than that one, we are creating automatically. I'm clicking on finish. Okay, so each module, there's many number sequences are there. Once it is created, we can modify we can modify as per your request, as per our requirement. I mean to say the client requirement. If you want to create manually, yes, we can create, but it is practically complex to you to do this. Okay, let me finish it and we'll discuss. So it is getting created. It is getting created. Okay, now if you close this one and refresh, number sequences are updated. So this is in the accounts payable around 30-35 or something 30, and in accounts receivable like this. In each module it is created. In each module, system creates automatically the number sequences using that button. So if you don't like it, you want to create, yes, system will not stop you. You can create one by one. You can create one by one. But this is MSVL hyphen 6 hashes or 8 hashes. It is available. Now, some number sequences will change it. That number sequences, what are the number sequences usually we need to change? I'm writing as a pending point. We'll discuss this one as a pending point. I'm writing number sequences. We'll discuss this one later. Okay, let me proceed. So your wish, whether you want to enter manually one by one. Okay. Okay, or you want to create continuous and you want to modify that one. What are the different options? What are the discussions? We'll discuss this one later. So currently, in my opinion, as per my best practice, I will create automatically the generate number sequences. Okay, in detail we'll discuss after 3 days. Okay, after 3 days we'll discuss. So number sequences are created. Number sequences are created. Next one is calendar. Fiscal calendars. So general ledger, collapse all, calendars, fiscal calendars. So here you need to click on new calendar, and then for this one you are giving name. Once it is created calendars, you can create new year by clicking on next. Okay, so the first one, new calendar, you are creating from date and to date. If it is India, it is April 1st to December 31st. If it is USA, it may be Jan to December, it may be July to June, it may be differently. Okay, like that you can create. So in Australia, they will follow April, May to April. In Switzerland, I saw some companies they are using from November to October, and if it is Accenture, it is September to August, or August to July. I think September to August, September 1st to August 31st, August 31st. So there are different companies, different countries will follow differently. You can create calendar. So to create this calendar, it will take 1 minute time. Whereas in SAP, if you want, SAP is a very great product. Okay, very superb and excellent product. But if you want to create a new calendar in SAP, it will take minimum 1 hour to 2 hours. It will take 1 hour to 2 hours. There will be so many things. So I have learned SAP in 2015-16. At that time it is complex, little bit complex. Now it may be maybe a little bit faster. But even though, so SAP is complex to learn. The product is superb, but the problem is complex to learn. Dynamics, easy to learn. That is the major advantage Microsoft Dynamics. Okay, so the calendar you need to create, the new year you need to create. So suppose here it is 2018. So April 1st, 2017 to 31st March 2018. Next year, I'm clicking April 1st, 2018 to March 31st, 2019. If you want to change, usually we will not change the start date and end date. If you want to change, yes, it is possible to change. Otherwise, you can keep like this, and you can click on create. Simple button. Automatically it is created for 2018-19, April 1st, 2018 to 31st March 2019. Okay, so there are, one is April to March operating, and opening and closing is there. This we will discuss what is the benefit of opening and closing in year-end process. Whether we have discussed year-end process? Anyone? Are you able to recollect? I think I have explained. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So at that
Yes, sir, you
time
have
we will use. Yeah. So at that time we will use this opening and closing. I have discussed in detail during year-end process. Okay.
financially
So
closing everything.
And stop
yeah.
closing, use a hold button.
Yes, exactly. Fine. So the calendar we need to create. The first one is calendar. So general ledger, calendars. Fiscal calendars. Next, once it is defined calendars, the next steps, almost 5 to 6 steps, it is by default available in the system, but in real-time scenario you need to create. The first one is chart of accounts. You need to create chart of accounts. So if it is a new company, new database, if you go to general ledger module, chart of accounts, chart of accounts, it will be blank. It will be blank. But why it is showing here? The reason behind, we have already demo data, USMF, DMF, INMF, BRMF. There are so many companies, ITCO, like there are so many companies are there. That is the reason this chart of accounts are exist. Otherwise, you need to create chart of accounts. You need to create chart of accounts. I'm going to use this chart of accounts, SHARED chart of accounts. I'm going to use in the company. So you need to define or you need to create chart of accounts. Either we can use manual entry or you can use data management framework. Using data management framework, you can import the chart of accounts, master data. Okay, so the DMF I will discuss with you. Actually, that is not a part of our course content. With my interest, I will discuss with you data management framework later, not now. Not now. In the end, during ending, I will give you high level picture. I'm not going to teach you that one because that is part of MB300. So it is MB310 we are discussing. Okay, but I will give you high level picture how to use data management framework. Okay, it is important. Fine. So chart of accounts are ready. Next, once chart of accounts are ready, general ledger, chart of accounts, chart of accounts. Chart of accounts. Next, financial dimensions. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Financial dimensions. So how many financial dimensions available by default? How many financial dimensions available?
Nothing, 0.
0 financial dimensions by default available. Okay, how many we can create?
Infinite.
Infinite. So chart of accounts, dimensions, financial dimensions. Okay, so I want to give you a small information here. So one of the guy, he has taken money. He is not giving back to his friend or relative or something. Opposite guy is frustrated like anything. At last, after 6 months, 1 year, I mean to say from last 2 years he has not paid. He committed like 2 years, within 2 years I will pay, repay the amount. He has not paid. And after 2 years also it is dragging. The opposite guy is frustrated. Okay, now in one day, in one final day, they met each other. Then he asked me like, last chance I told you, by tomorrow you need to pay, otherwise I will kill you. Okay, This guy has came next day. Then he asked whether you brought check or not. He told like no. Immediately he shoot it. Then he is telling like I brought cash. Already shoot it. So why I'm giving this example? How many financial dimensions available means by default means 0. Immediately you need to answer like we can create infinite financial dimensions. Otherwise, the opposite person will understand like you don't know about financial dimensions. Getting my point? So this is a continuous step. It will be misunderstanding like you don't know any financial dimensions because by default it is available. It is available, but you need to create. Okay. If anyone is asking me how many financial dimensions available in the system, then you should not answer 0. 0 means you are getting shooted. I did not brought check. But what you brought? I brought cash. First, you need to immediately answer. Don't delay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, if you are answering like 0 financial dimensions available, finance like interviewer or opposite person like whenever you are facing client, he will think like you don't know anything about dynamics. You need to answer. The answer is 0, but we can create infinite financial dimensions. That is your answer. Don't cut it. If you are cutting, you are getting shooted. The example, a clear example like that. Okay. So I'm expecting quick answers whenever I'm telling. Okay. So financial dimensions by default it will be blank. This will be blank. Then why it is available? Because we have USMF, DMF, INMF, BRMF. There are so many several companies. For that companies it was created already. So you are going to use those financial dimensions in the system. No need to create financial dimensions, but dimension values you need to create. Dimension values you need to create. Dimensions you are going to create like this, but dimension values it is blank. This is for Japanese. It is not there. Okay, so it was changed to Japanese company. So we need to change it to yes. It is a small bug, but it is a complex to fix. That is the reason it is like same. It is processing. We are in the company MSVL. But if I'm selecting suppose campaign, if I'm clicking on dimensional values, it is USRT 001. 001 is USRT. If I close, it is same. It is continuing. This is a kind of bug, but it is like complex to fix. That is the reason Microsoft is postponed this one to fix. No issue. You need to change it to MSVL. Fine. Okay, it was created. Financial dimensions. So financial dimensions you need to create. If it is a fresh database, no financial dimensions will be created. You need to create. Okay, you know already the classification. One is operating units, next one is masters, submasters, and then one is custom dimensions. Okay, fine. Next, just a minute.
Can someone hear me?
Yes, Sama.
Okay, thank you.
Come back. Fine. So financial dimensions created. Next, accounting structure. Structures. Configure accounting structure. Configure accounting structure. We have already learned this configure accounting structure. You have already learned. So that you need to define. So once again, this also general ledger, collapse all, chart of accounts, structures, configure account structure. Configure account structure. Sometimes it is accounting structure, sometimes it is configure account structure, whatever it may be. So this also by default it will be blank, and we have already learned how to create accounting structure. We have learned that you need to define. By default it will be blank because it is enterprise level data. That is the reason it is showing accounting structures or configure account structures. You need to define. Okay, accounting structures define. Next, once it is defined, next one is currencies. Currencies, it is available by default. Okay, the path let me write down. General ledger currencies. General ledger currencies. General ledger currencies. Okay, it will be by default available. You need not to create anything. So it is, you can use it existing one. The entire world, in the entire world, whatever the currencies are there, but it is available by default. Okay, only euro has special function. Euros has, it is triangulation currency. Euro is not a specific country currency. It is global currency. Sorry, it is by default. Europe countries together they made it one currency by like some of the around 25 to 26 countries combined together, they made it one currency as euro. Okay, fine. Currencies also by default it is available. You need not to create anything. You need to simply map. Fine. Currencies are defined. Next one
Satya,
is, yes, please.
yes, so what is the triangular currency and what is its function and where it will be
Triangulation
used?
currency.
Yeah.
We'll discuss this one later. Triangulation. Okay, this is what exactly the functionality. We'll discuss this one later. It is not a functionality, it is global, like how it is. If it is a Europe, it is most you need to understand, but we'll discuss that one as a pending point. Okay, fine. I'll discuss definitely because flow will be disturbed a lot. That is the reason I'm postponing. Next, once it is defined, you need to map, you need to create exchange rate types. Exchange rate types you need to define. Exchange rate types you need to define. Next, once it is defined, currency exchange rates. Currency exchange rate. Okay, currency exchange rates you need to map. Okay, I will explain you these things. It is important. Okay, this one currency exchange rates. In few minutes you are going to learn. In few minutes you are going to learn. Okay, currency exchange rates and exchange rate types. Exchange rate types and currency exchange rates. In few minutes you are going to learn. But just for wait for 5-10 minutes. So once it is defined, this one, next you need to map. You have to map here. So our brain is ready. The brain is ready, and now we are creating head. This is head of the application. This is the head of the ERP, the head of the application. Ledger. So here, ledger setup, ledger. It is blank. You need to click on edit. You need to map the currencies. Sorry, chart of accounts. Chart of accounts. I'm using shared chart of accounts. Fiscal calendar. I'm using fiscal. This is like Jan to December. Okay, we'll map it. Fine. Next one is currency, US dollars. Next, currency, you report currency. I'm using euro. I'm mapping euros. And exchange rates, default exchange rate. I'm mapping. Here also I'm mapping default exchange rate. And here also I'm mapping default exchange rate. Your wish, if you want to have different exchange rates, you can define exchange rates differently, or you can map. So chart of accounts, currencies cannot be modified. So one is ledger form, general ledger, ledger setup, ledger. This is whenever a baby wants the head how it is like made by God. That God may be any God. It was prepared by God. Okay, so the same manner it is head of ERP. Okay, while defining, we remember chart of accounts, accounting currency, reporting currency cannot be modified in future. Cannot be modified in future. Be conscious, be alert. We cannot modify this one You cannot modify this one. You cannot modify this one. If you want, you can see here. Yes and no. You can click on edit. The system will not allow you to modify. It is freezed. Once any single transaction is posted, you cannot modify. So I told you one is this one, and then the top I told you country also, country and company code. These two cannot be modified. These two cannot be modified. Here also it is. Okay, in future, if you want to modify, it is not possible. You need to decide properly what exactly you want. What exactly you want. So let me go to MS.
Even with the ITL also we can't modify currency.
Sorry.
Even with IT help in the backend, they may do
No,
help.
no, no. Even with you are telling like it's not. Don't use IT. It is use developer. You
Yeah.
mean to say with the help of developer, can I change it? You can change this code USD to INR or something, but whatever it was happened, the transactions, how it will be converted? Got my point?
Yeah, they can't refresh the data in the backend.
They cannot see. You need to apply the exchange rates. Am I right?
Yeah.
They cannot do it. It is impossible. Okay, in 2012, to do these changes, there is a query. It was given by Microsoft. It was provided by Microsoft. It is failed.
Oh.
It is failed because it's not that much easy. Because exchange rates should be captured properly. That is, it is practically very complex. Rather than that one, if you create a new company and doing all the setups, better. Okay, so
Yeah.
chart of accounts, accounting currency, reporting currency cannot be modified. Cannot be modified. Next, you need to map accounting structures. Accounting structures. So what I will do, I will create two structures and I will map. I'm creating two structures. Long back we have created structures. Let me create one more now. So accounting structure 1, it is in draft mode. Click on add segment. I'm adding main accounts. So I want main account should be lifted to left side. So main account I'm adding here is between includes 1 0 0 0 0 6 digits 3999. Apply. Okay, I'm making business unit man optional, department optional. Okay, so now let me activate. This you have practiced accounting structure into recollect. It is activating. Let me create one more structure, accounting structure 2. Accounting structure 2, create. Okay, here is between includes 40002 999. Apply. I'm adding business unit, add segment. Next, department. add segment, and then cost center also. Okay, I want to make all are optional so that it will be optional. We have discussed a lot and revisit accounting structure. If you have any doubts, let me know. It is most important. Accounting structure is brain. So for human being, if brain is not working, there is no use. In the same manner here, refresh. Okay, it is done. Now I'm clicking on add, mapping the structure 1, select, click yes. Next, add structure 2, select, okay, fine. Once it is defined, for foreign currency revaluation, we have discussed. For foreign currency revaluation, you need to click on main account, you need to add. At this point, it is showing disabled. Okay, let me save it, and it will not show immediately. It is not showing. Drop down to select. Okay, the drop down, it is not coming. Don't misunderstood. You need to click on recalculate ledger periods. It will not take much time. Usually, it will be processing. Okay, now save. So you can close this form, ledger form, and open once again general ledger, collapse all, ledger setup, ledger. Now if you click on edit, it will allow you to select the main. Okay, you can map the main accounts for foreign currency revaluation. Is it clear? The ledger form mapping, it is most important. Still, it is allowing to modify, but it will not allow you to modify in future once the transaction is posted. Okay, and one more pending topic I'm writing, whether I have explained about dual currency functionality. Dual currency functionality, whether I have explained.
Yeah,
No?
initially you have, yeah, some while explaining somewhere you have explained that, Satya.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it is there. Yeah, it is there. Fine. So you are sure you know this one, am I right? Dual currency. So I will refresh. I will refresh once again. No problem. I have written. We'll discuss this one. Okay, even logistics people also will understand. Actually, this is a part of finance, but logistics people also will refresh their knowledge. No problem. We'll discuss pending point. Okay, so ledger form is defined. Next, general ledger, collapse all, ledger setup, general ledger parameters. So if I explain the company creation process in the very first day, are you able to understand all these things?
Obviously, no.
It's impossible. Okay, now you are able to understand one by one. So my way of technique is like the how, if I am explaining how to explain the opposite person, I will think about opposite person point of view, how he is thinking. I know everything, but if I explain at that time, you cannot understand, you cannot imagine what I'm explaining. But every time you will ask, what is this accounting structure, what is this dimension, what is this, what is that? So I have explained all the contents pieces. Now I'm reframing and you are making one kind of, you are constructing a doll kind of thing. Okay, now you have visualization, everything, you are mapping one by one sequence steps. So this, as I told you, you need to practice. Finance team, particularly finance team, logistics team also, I mean to say SCM team also, you can practice. It's a good for your career, but it may not be 100%. You don't know about that one, blindly you need to follow. But whereas finance consultants, it is most important. Everyone need to do this company creation process from day one, from today to till it is going on. How long it is going on? Those many days you need to create every day one company. Every day one company. Okay. If you want to neglect today and tomorrow, no problem. But at least by day after tomorrow, from Thursday onwards, every day you need to create one company. And you need to start from the starting point step to ending point, whatever I'm continuing. Every day you need to do it. Then once it is sessions are over, you can target for 2 months. In 2 months, it's not a complex. The product is very dead easy application. Only you need to practice. You need to practice and you need to speak. And I hope you are already speaking with your colleagues. If you are not speaking, don't expect a job. If you are not speaking with your friend or your colleague, anyone, if you are not speaking, means every 1 day is equal to 1 week extension. I mean to say, if you are not speaking with your friend about this product, so you are speaking with politics, you are speaking with sports, you are speaking with so many things, movies, heroes, heroines, that will not help you a lot. That will not help you for your career. For your career, definitely every day, every person will speak. I know. Whenever you are speaking, speak regarding the product, rather than at least target for 2-3 months, not more than that. If you are speaking about politics, if you are speaking about like sports, or if you are speaking about movies, that will give you entertainment. So entertainment, you will do it later also. Postpone your entertainments at least for 3 months. Okay, try to speak about the product. Fine. General ledger parameters. In these general ledger parameters, you need to define maximum penny difference, maximum penny rounding in the accounting reporting currency. This is for accounting currency, this is for reporting currency. So maximum penny difference. Another one is maximum penny rounding in the reporting currency. What do you mean by like this? What is this actually? So now I want your answer. 20/3, what is the value? What is the value? 20/3.
6.6.
6 point.
666. Keep on going.
So in the database, SQL server, in the database, the value will be stored with like this 6.666666. This is around 10 to 15 digits will be stored in the database level, in the SQL server level. In the backend, inside, the value will be stored with 6.6666. This is around 10 to 15 digits will be stored. I hope it is 20 digits. I don't know exact digits. It is more than 10 digits. It will be stored. But in the front end, what is the value it will show you?
6.67.
6.67.
It will show you 6.67.
67.
Is there any difference between these two? Is there a difference?
Yes, there is a decimal difference.
There is a difference is there. Am I right? So
Yes.
here we are mentioning rounding 1, 0.01. Your wish, how you want, you can define. 0.01, you can define. Whatever it is there, you need to define this one. Suppose if you define like 0.10, then what is this value of 6 point, like 20 by 3? 20 by 3 value, if it is rounding 0.10, one decimal. What is value?
6.7. 6.7
6.7
is variance.
the value. Understood? So based on your definition here, system will calculate rounding. So minimum to minimum, this is 0.01, or if it is really required, you can map 0.2, 0.5, whatever the way. If it is a the currency value is low, you can define little bit bigger amount as well. Particularly in the rounding of this one, usually sometimes if it is required, they will map 10 also. Because suppose euro to Kenya currency is very low, I can make 0.10. Understood? So that is depending upon your requirement, you are going to decide. Fine, I'm mapping 0.01. Okay, so rounding difference we have mapped. Next, batch transfer rules. Here we have 3 options. Okay, synchronous, it will not allow you to select. If I'm selecting synchronous, it will throw warning message. The synchronous option is deprecated. Use either asynchronous or scheduled batch. So it was asynchronous. So let me explain you the difference between these 3. This is synchronous. This is asynchronous. Means some gap is there. Whenever you are moving, if you give some gap, it will be little bit faster, you can move. If it is like this, the movement is very less. Am I right? Agree with me? If you are giving chance to move little bit gap, little bit faster will be, chances are moving this one. This is synchronous. This is asynchronous. Then what is this scheduled batch? What is this scheduled batch? Third option. Scheduled batch is, suppose my office working hours are, I need to work 8 hours. I need to work 8 hours. So the best practice majority people 10 to 6 is the everyone will follow. Am I right? Usually offices 10 to 6. Now
Yes.
the company has given provision to adjust your hours. It's not an issue. Then I can enter here 12. I can move. I can go 12 to 8. Then I will face very less traffic. Agree?
Yes.
So this is scheduled batch. Okay, scheduled batch means if it is not posting immediately, it will post after some time. So the best example, vendor invoice posting. Whenever you are posting vendor invoice, it is coming here. Periodic tasks, subledger journal entry is not yet transferred. It is coming and it is sitting here. So you can map transfer in batch. Means whenever you have offline time after business hours, you can click on transfer batch. This is, otherwise you can schedule a batch. That is here, schedule batch. Understood? For which documents means you can have these documents. We know product receipt and vendor invoice. Regularly we are looking at these two. And free text invoice also the same. And there are so many documents. Sales invoice, it will be posted immediately. But these all are, you can have later. Okay, there are so many things. Product receipt, you know, and vendor invoice, you know. Earning statement header means it is related to HR. Project, it is project. Project, this is also project. Free text invoice, you know. Pay statement is HR related. Salary process. Sales complementary invoice, it is part of retail, I think. This is project. This is expense. This is bank statement and advance report. Okay, these are related to like public sector. Okay, purchase commitment. So purchase order, you know, generally this is also related to public sector. Okay, advanced journal, it is also a public sector. So some are related. So you know, like one is very well known documents, one is purchase order, one is purchase order confirmation kind of thing, purchase order, product receipt, and then vendor invoice. One more, you know, free text invoice. Remaining you are not sure, you can leave it that one. So these documents, if once it is posted, it will show you here product receipt and invoice. Now you can schedule a batch here after like business hours, it will be processed automatically, so that traffic will be slowed down. Whoever is posting data entry, for them it will not impact performance problems. Okay, so I'm mapping asynchronous. Your wish whether you want asynchronous or scheduled batch. Okay, I map asynchronous. So it is most important. You need to map to this one. So next one is batch transfer rule. While practicing, it is better to map asynchronous. Okay, fine. Asynchronous, it was mapped. Done. Next, sales tax based on the requirement you need to define. Okay, fine. Now, after this, we need to map posting setup, accounts for automatic transactions. In this, it is empty. Don't click on new and select one by one. It is hectic job for you. Based on your requirement, you will do it. But you can click on create default types. Okay, create default types. Then you need to map penny difference in the reporting currency, penny difference in accounting currency, year end close, balance accounting, like balance accounts for consolidated differences, customer cash discount, vendor cash discount, order invoice rounding, vendor invoice rounding. You need to map it. So it is rounding account I'm mapping. So except error account, you need to map all the accounts. It is the best practice. So I'm mapping. What is this actually? What is this? I'm mapping. So accept error account, you need to map all these things by clicking on create default. What is this actual accounts? What is the purpose? So you are telling like the rounding rule in the general ledger parameters, you have mapped rounding rule. So in the front end, it will show you if it is 0.01, if it is 0.1, it will be like this. But there is a difference between these two. Am I right? Agree? As per mathematics, there is a difference. Agree?
Yes.
If the difference should be posted to which account? That's what here. Understood? So accounts for automatic transaction. Accounts for automatic transactions. This is in general ledger, posting setup, accounts for automatic transaction. Accounts for automatic transactions. Create part. Unit to map. So this is for accounting currency. This is for accounting currency. This is for reporting currency. This is at the time of year-end process. The rounding value 0.01 it is coming. Then it will post to this account. This is for consolidation. This is for cash discount. Customer cash discount means whenever you are doing a sales order invoice, customer cash discount will be calculated. Vendor cash discount. And then rounding difference in the, this is sales order invoice rounding. This is for vendor invoice. So in these transactions, any rounding calculations are coming, the rounding will be posted to this account. The difference between these two. Got it? Any questions here? Any questions?
What is that error account, Satya?
So the error account is, suppose you are doing some customizations. In the customizations, you are disturbing like vendor invoice posting. So system is not able to capture one account. It is throwing error message. Then it will capture whatever it is there in this account. Automatically it will post to this account. But you don't want, you want get error. If this development is not done properly by developer, then if it is posting to this account, you cannot identify what is going wrong. It should be stopped your postings. Agree?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is the reason I am not mapping this error account.
Okay.
If you want to post,
yeah. Suppose when we create the item master at there, item group. The item group we need to define the posting the GL accounts, right? There in any one of the types, if you miss that mapping the
no,
GL account,
it's not missing. Not missing. I am telling you, you did some customization for new function.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Understood? I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about you did some customization, something new fields added. That fields should be posted to some account. There is a mapping that is not done properly. Developer, half of the way it was developed, or something errors going on, that will post to this account.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
But not standard accounts. Standard accounts will not hit this account. It will search for that account only. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are disturbing already existing functionality by developer, then it may hit this accounts. That will create problems. You need to rectify that code fixes.
Okay.
Got it? Fine. Okay. Now it is done. It's done. So general ledger related setups are completed. General ledger setups related to all those things we have configured. This is GL. Of course, particularly for supply chain management team, SCM team, it is getting boring for you, but it is fact. You need to understand. If you understand, that will be great. It will be good for you, for your career. If you are not able to follow, not an issue for you. But I would like to teach for both finance and T&L, so that at least you will have high level picture. Whoever is joining for T&L, you will have high level picture. That is the reason I have taken like this. Okay, fine. Next, once it is done, accounts for automated transactions. Next one is accounts payable module, vendor groups. We need to create vendor groups. The next step is accounts payable module, collapse all vendors. Okay. Before that, I need to teach you. So I told you like exchange rate types. I told you, but I have not explained. Let me go back. So here, let me go back. So general ledger, collapse all, ledger setup, ledger. Here, so if you go to this exchange rates or currency exchange rate types, currency exchange rates. Suppose this currency exchange rates, suppose in India we have 4 companies. One is in Hyderabad, another one is in Delhi, one more is in Mumbai, another one is in Chennai. Okay, 4 companies. All 4 companies will have same exchange rate. I want to use same exchange rate. That is the reason I can use this one. If I create exchange rates, current exchange rate types, I can create India exchange rate, and I can map exchange rates for India, and I can use the same exchange rates for all 4 companies. That is the reason this exchange rate type or currency exchange rates also enterprise level data. Because if it is USA, if it is India, there is a difference. Exchange rates are different. But within India, I have 4 companies. One more company is in Singapore. Total 5 companies. 4 companies in Hyderabad, sorry, in India, and 1 company is in Singapore. So 4 companies in India, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi. I will use same exchange rates. And some other, like another one, it is in Singapore, then I can use Singapore exchange rate differently. So you can create different exchange rate types, and you can map exchange rates as per the requirement. Understood? Any concerns, any questions here? Okay, I hope it is clear. Fine. Next one. Now vendor groups. We need to define vendor groups. Accounts payable, collapse all, vendors, vendor groups. Okay, you need to create vendors, vendor groups. Accounts payable module. So rather than this one, you are already habituated. AP, vendors, vendor groups. So I'm creating, suppose usually they will create 10, 20, 30. It will be easy for them. Okay. So I'm creating domestic vendors. Otherwise, you can create DOC, VEND, your wish. So this is client will provide the data, vendor groups that you need to define. One is domestic vendors, another one is international vendors. Okay. Okay. Next, vendor posting profile. Accounts payable, setup, vendor posting profile. Already you have learned vendor posting profiles, accounts payable, setup, vendor posting profiles. The data, how you want, you can create. You are already habituated this one. group 10, okay, always the best is all. Also try to map all, also. Okay, vendor posting profiles defined. Once it is defined, you need to map. The next one is accounts payable setup, setup, accounts payable parameters, ledger and sales tax tab, select vendor posting profile. Accounts payable parameters, ledger and sales tax tab, select the posting. Once it is defined, you need to create vendor. So while creating vendor, it will show you MSUL 0001. Okay, let me create one vendor. Can you tell me any one vendor, your favorite vendor name, from where you want to purchase?
Basket.
Big basket. Spelling, what is that? Big BOS.
BAS.
BAS. CATE. Is it?
No, KATA.
Is it? KATE?
E only.
BASK.
Is it correct or name is?
BASK.
KET.
That's it. Okay. There is no E. Fine. So vendor is created. Vendor is created. I don't want actually, like, before creating this one, if you don't like MSUL directly 001, suppose if you want to change, just for understanding purpose, I have created like this. If you want to change, then go to number sequences, modify this one. I want like this. So it will create. Okay. So MSUL is a company code -V-001 is my name number sequence. Yes, you can create like this, so that next time, whenever before creating, you need to decide. Now I'm creating another vendor. Now tell me any other vendor. Look at this one. It will show you MSUL-002 -V-002. Now tell me any other vendor. Your favorite any vendor?
TCS.
TCS. Okay. It is already there, but it is another one. TCS.
Wipro.
Fine. 2 is enough. Data will create anything. Okay. Remember, whenever you are creating a vendor, you need to make sure language is populated or not. Language is populated or not. This is most important. So if you before creating this one, you need to create, you need to map that, like you need to modify the number sequence. You know, for intentionally I did mistake. Okay, for your understanding purpose, you can modify. Okay, vendor is created. All vendors. Accounts payable, vendors. So vendor related setups are done. Now customer related setups. The same 17 customer groups. Okay, so it is available in customers. It is available in setup. It is available in accounts receivable side. Accounts receivable setup, customer groups. Let me create customer groups. Accounts receivable module. It is not here. It is not here. It is here in the setup, customer groups. Same, we need to create. I'm creating domestic customers, international customers. This is data. It is not your decision. Okay, if the customer is maintaining like Hyderabad customers, Mumbai customers, you need to map. Wholesale customers, retail customers, you need to map. This is data. It is not your decision. It is client decision. Client data, you need to do it. Next, customer posting profiles. Your wish, this one also, you know already, we have discussed a lot. Okay, once it is defined, we need to map the parameters. Same procedure. Next, we need to create customers. So customer groups created, customer posting profile created. Then the parameter you need to define, you need to set up. So next 20 customers will be created. So before creating, if you want, you can modify, or it will create by default. Now tell me to which customer you want to sell this material.
Amazon.
So Amazon, for Amazon you are selling, okay. Save. Be remember, language should be mapped, and not only this one, minimum setups we did it. We need to add address, we need to add terms of payment, methods of payment, cash discounts, whatever it is there, whatever you have learned, all these things we need to map it. Based on the client requirement, you need to define all those things. Okay, minimum is language should be mapped.
Okay, Satya, when we are
Yeah.
when we are creating these vendors, usually we will get the vendor list from the customer, the client,
Yes.
and just we buy the management DMF, then we will just upload, right? Yeah, that's how it happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. In real-time
Okay.
scenario, you are going to use data management framework. Using this data management framework, you are importing the data.
All these parameters, everything will be provided by the client. Just we need to upload that into the system.
So it's not like just they will give you raw data, extra data. You need to rectify. They will
But
give you some problems. Yeah.
but the consultant usually will give the defined format, right, which is compatible to upload.
Will give definitely. So sometimes, see, that depends. The person who is going to share with you. If they are giving the kachra, you will get kachra only. Am I right? If you are feeding the kachra, you will get output also kachra. What it means? So suppose like Kukatpalli. One time it was given like this. Another one in another place. One more guy has given like this. He has given. What happens? In one address it was like this. One address it is like this. One address it is like this. Okay, of course this is their data. If you are uploading like this, you can upload your wish. See, I'm telling you the real fact, reality. Understood? Sama?
Yeah. Because
So,
when
see, whenever you're feeding in the address format, someone is
yeah,
feeding like this, someone is feeding like this, they will export and they will give. If the person is responsible person, he will make beautiful life for everywhere. Kukatpalli means it is the same. If the person is exported and he has given, if you are feeding the same data by importing, your wish. Both people
okay.
are not taking responsibilities.
Okay, now with respect to all these, the master data, the subledger master data, will that be uploaded by the F&O functional consultant or the respective consultants?
Respective means?
Suppose if it is the inventory, we have
Uh,
SEM, SEM.
yes, exactly. Item master, how you can upload.
Yeah.
So it is a
So
part of SEM
right,
because he knows in and out. Yeah.
correct. with respect to the GL opening balances, then that is the responsibility of the this guy,
Finance
right?
consultant. Yeah.
Functional consultant.
Finance functional consultant. Yeah.
AP, AR, fixed assets and the intercompany related ones will be handled by the F&O functional consultant, correct?
It's not. Don't use F&O. F&O is not a finance. F&O is a finance and operations. I told you several times. F&O means finance and operations. Operations means SCM, retail.
Okay.
All are
Okay.
operations. Use the word finance.
Finance. Okay.
Finance consultant. Yeah.
Okay. The finance. What are all the subledgers? These are the main subledgers. Subledger. The data that will be managed by the finance consultant. Is it?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We'll discuss in detail later. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm stopping here for today. I'm stopping here for today. As I told you, like the new batch is starting now from 8 o'clock. Okay. So we'll continue about the process remaining. See, today you can neglect. Tomorrow, whatever I have created, the complete process, you need to create from tomorrow onwards, create a new company and doing all steps. That is your responsibility. Okay. If you are not creating a company, then you are one day, if you are not creating, then you are postponing yourself by 1 week or 1 month. Your job opportunity you are postponing to 1 month. 1 day is equal to 1 month, or 1 day equal to 1 week, or 1 day equal to 15 days. It will be postponed because you are not doing practice. Okay, fine. So at least by tomorrow, you need to start company creation process and doing all the steps. Okay, there are many things you are going to learn. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay, see you all. Bye bye.
Definitely, sir. Bye bye, sir.